this just a little bit so you can see this a little bit more. Load up my brush. And I'm gonna hold my brush a little different, right? So I'm gonna create these trees, but holding them a little bit different, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and just, if there's a center line right here, you know, I'm just gonna just use the edge of my brush and just do this little kind of quick little thing, this little shape of some sort of a tree of some sort, right? And we'll just let that dry a little bit. What we can do is like, okay, I'm gonna put maybe a little bit of red, just tap it in there while it's still kind of dry, while it's still kind of wet, you know? And so we'll just let that be. And that's just using, you know, the edge of my brush, not just using the tip, right? I'm gonna go and grab some more kind of leftovers. So I got some greens here. And I'm just gonna grab some green, maybe a little bit of that yellow. And with this time, I'm just gonna go, maybe this time what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this kind of long tree looking shape. Grab some of this more yellow here. And every single time I'm mixing my colors, right? I'm letting the colors, I'm just tapping, you know, making this kind of long tree here, you know, just like that. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to let the watercolor do most of the mixing for me and not sit there and rub the watercolor, right? Just want to let it do its thing by creating those different values and different, you know, someone's going to tap some color in here, just like that. And these are just kind of the you know, I guess the leafy part of these trees, right? And then we'll go, and I'm going to grab a little, well, I'll use the same brush here. I'm going to grab just maybe, what color? I don't know. It doesn't really matter what color, but right now what I'm doing is I'm just using my leftover paint that I have on my palette. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do just one of those kind of not palm tree. Well, we can do a palm tree actually too. I'm going to do one of those evergreens that we see here. What I'm going to do is, since this brush is very blunt, you know, the tip is gone, I'm going to flatten it out. I'm going to press down on it right here to give us like almost like a little wedge shape. And I'm going to go ahead and start with the tip here, and I'm going to go ahead and just kind of start from the center and just kind of go in and out like this, and grab some more yellow here and just create this from the center, and I'm going out. I'm almost doing these flicking motions, and notice some of these lines and strokes aren't even touching, as in they're not just, I'm just kind of creating this almost this Christmas tree-like shape, this tree shape, right? Just like that. Maybe this one goes all the way down here to the ground or something right there. There we go. All right, so we have, I'm gonna do one more, and you know, let's see, I'm gonna do maybe some yellows, maybe a little bit of green, maybe a little bit of blue in there, maybe a tiny bit of red. And I'm just going to use the edge of my brush here, load it on my brush up. I'm just going to do this little, maybe here, just like, I don't know, just something like this, just toward the top. So it's going to be kind of top heavy, and we'll make the trunks kind of coming down or something. I don't know. Who knows? Just kind of creating shapes, right? Just letting the watercolor kind of do its thing. Let me check. No one's in the chat. Chatting things up while I'm ignoring them. I'm not, but no one's chatting. So I'm just dropping these out like that. Let those sit for a split second. So this is a dagger brush here that, again, it has this kind of, you know, like a dagger shape, and the tip is great because you can kind of do these wispy kind of things, which is nice. So you have the dagger brush, and then you have this is a smaller Da Vinci, but what I'm looking for was, let's see if oh, here it is, this guy here. This is what, like something, this is a liner brush, and notice it's just kind of a long, it doesn't have a belly, just kind of a long kind of hairs, unlike this one here. See how this one, the black one here, has like a little belly. This one's just all kind of just one, you know, long bristles. Couple different ways you can do this. So the liner brushes are great because you can do those kind of very simple wispy shapes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab just a little bit of, maybe a little bit of brown here. And just start from the bottom. I'm gonna load, again, the key is to load up your brush. The key is to load up your brush. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my pinky here to kind of keep my hand kind of steady. And so I kind of use it a little bit, but be a bit careful. You don't want to drag over, like this shape here. So it's just kind of, it helps. You can use your knuckle too, like if you're just painting like this, you use your knuckle to kind of rest it. So what I'm going to do here, trying to make sure that. So I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just lay this, I'm going to press down hard here, and then I'm going to kind of go up, and then it's going to kind of go away, maybe put a little bit of these thin little itty bitty strokes within this shape here. And notice when I'm maybe just kind of this here, again, those trees have nice roots. So I'm kind of putting these roots in here. Why not? These kind of shapes. And then as I'm going up, it kind of breaks up, using the tip of the brush. I'm gonna try to use my left hand, which it doesn't matter. I'm a professional. It does matter. I can't paint with my left hand. I mean, I can. So we'll do this. Woo! The nice thing about painting with your non-dominant hand is that the strokes, the strokes are a lot different, and this and that. We do this a little bit in my watercolor 102 class, where we would do a painting with our non-dominant hand, because painting's easy, and no, it's not. So just some trunks, right? That's a little bit of, and what I can do is I can go ahead and use maybe a little paper towel or something, and just if I'm not liking a certain color that I have on there, or maybe it's a little bit too bright, I can just tap it, and I can kind of lift up some of that there, right? So I'll try a different brush. I'll try this liner brush here, and I'll kind of put these trunks in there. So here's my liner brush, right? And we'll do the same kind of thing here. And I'm not going all the way up with, maybe that trunk is kind of hidden behind some of the tree, about shapes and those kind of things. So it's just, you're just trying to create a story, just the essence of it, right? Versus trying to spell it out for a viewer. Your eye sees it, as a continuous line, because usually you have these things are, next to other, it's not just one standalone tree, there's also liar trees next to them. Right. And I'll try to dagger brush so you can kind of see the different kind of, the technique is the same. It's just the brush, the way the brush, the tip or whatever is a little bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same kind of thing, press a little harder here. And as I go up, put more color, and then just kind of, this one's going to be pretty easy. Use the tip of it just to kind of go down. And usually with these kind of evergreens, I rarely put the trunk in it, just because, I don't know. But for this, I can also just tap it. Now, I know I'm using brown, but what if I use, for the other ones, what if I use, I use a little bit of orange, maybe with a little bit of that orange, put a tiny bit of that sepia so it's still in that warmer tone. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, okay, maybe there's a trunk right here going up, using that warmer tone, and then it kind of just comes up a little bit. Maybe a little bit of these little things here. Who knows, right? I mean, that's a nice thing about these trees. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't take much, you know, don't try to get too like complicated with, you know, oh, these trees have, you know, well, yes, you can, let's say you can be cute about it and go, okay, well, my tree wants to have um, a little swing. Okay, fine. You can do that in, you know, little swing. You have a little swing there, right? I'm not sure what giant child can get on that. Should be a little lower, but it's okay. In our world, our people that live in our world have long, huge legs, long legs. You know, with the grass, let's just put a little bit, you know, a little bit of just quick strokes, just quick stroke like that, right? Same thing here. Maybe I just go all the way across like that. Boop. Why not? Just line it all up like that. Boop. And it only works if you do that sound. If you don't, it will not work. Just a little heads up. Pro tip. Boop. Cross this way. And we have our little itty bitty trees. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more of these little itty bitty little bit of trunks just here on this part here, just to add a little bit more interest here. Boop. The key is not to get too carried away, really, you know. Don't get too carried away. Don't get too carried away as I'm getting carried away. Don't get too carried away as I'm getting carried away.